biggest thing would be surround yourself with good people. Be selective
Yeah,
with
I
people,
agree.
that that you go with.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Thriving Filipino Circle podcast. I'm your host, Joanna Ramos. Our podcast is dedicated to inspiring and connecting Filipino women in the UAE by sharing their remarkable stories of success, empowerment, and resilience. Today, we are diving into a new theme: Kabanata, Chapters of Life. Each chapter of our lives holds a unique story and a special place in our hearts. And as we go through different stages, these chapters shape who we are. Our word for today is Kabanata, which translates to chapter in English. Each of us has different chapters in our lives, and that define who we are and shape our journey. As we talk about these chapters, let's celebrate the stories they tell. Today, we have a very, 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 very special guest who will share her own journey through these chapters. Joining us today is Jona Desierto, dynamic marketing and event specialist at Scale on Socials. And of course, my very own talented producer at the TFC podcast. She is a proud Dabawenya who made Dubai her home for almost 2 years now.
Mhm.
Almost 2 years already.
Yeah.
We're excited to dive into her journey and hear how she navigates the different chapters of her life, both professionally and personally. Welcome, Jonah. I'm so excited to have you in the show finally, not behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
but in front of the
In front
camera.
of the camera, yes. For the first time, this is
Yes.
my official launch pilot.
Yes. Yay.
Yeah, in front of the camera. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited, Jonah. Finally, you said yes.
Yeah, after a lot of convincing, I said yes.
Yeah.
Finally.
So, Jonah, can you tell us about your journey in Dubai? What inspired you to make the move and start a new chapter here?
All right. So it starts with a story. Let's say it's a story. So one of my closest friends, you know her, May. She's been in Dubai for how many years now? I think coming 8 years. And yeah, we've been friends since in the university. And she's been, coming back to the Philippines. Of course, when she comes back, we hang out. And then just one random January. It was January 2022. Yeah, start of 2022, she went home, and then me, Rals, and her, we went on, just a simple dinner. I really remember it's at Jerry's Grill at
Mm,
SM.
mm.
So we just talked about it, like she was sharing all her, like what's happening to her here and yung mga experiences niya. And then for us, um during that time I was already thinking like what's next for me, because that time I was in working for a university. And then suddenly the idea popped up, like why don't you and Rouse go to go
Join
to
you.
Dubai, join her in Dubai. And like, really? And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So
Yeah.
it was a start of January. And then I think it's really a bit like meant to be, because it was just an idea January. By February, it became, it became a bit more real, because what happened was there was like a seat sale for like Cebu
Mm, mm.
Pacific. It was really, I love telling this story. It was a seat sale, and I think we just paid for like 4,000 pesos. So how much is that in
Oh.
dirhams? Like, I think less than
And the flight
200.
is how
It was Davao, Manila, Manila, Dubai.
I mean, when you book the flight, is it
It's for
soon?
October.
Ah, so
Yeah.
it's there's a big gap.
Yeah,
Ah,
there's a
okay,
big
that's
gap.
why. So you
Tapos yeah,
really
it was
planned it.
yeah, and
Mm.
then just happened. So that's it. And after quite some time, I'm here, here in
Nice.
Dubai. Yeah,
So what did May say that made you say yes to Dubai?
I think
And what
if
did you see? What did
yeah,
you see in her experiences? What did she tell you?
yeah, because I know she really started, from the bottom. Like it's a very another story to tell for her.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, what she said that really encouraged me. I knew deep inside that I wanted to get out of the country to, try new things. But what she told me was, um I think your talents are being underpaid and underrated in the Philippines. So,
Mhm.
I do a lot of things, and it's a bit kumbaga, the salary is not that good. So it's one thing.
Yeah,
I know
that's
it's
true.
one of the things that, people really look at. It's part of what we do. You have to be compensated well. So yeah, I think when she said that she can see that my talents are a bit underrated in the Philippines. That's why I thought, okay, maybe I'll try to explore Dubai.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a good decision, Jonah.
Yeah.
And so were you thinking that it was just a trial, or were you thinking it was temporary, or
For
what was on
me,
your mind that time?
oh, for me, well, it wasn't easy, like going
Mm.
here, you have to have kumbaga lakas ng
Yeah.
loob. It's, something you have to bank on, then you have financial and everything. But I don't know, for me it was really something that would be permanent. I
Mhm.
always had it in mind that this is something, this move is a big move, a big chapter of my life. And this is something that I would do all in. So I will do everything in my power to make this work. And then maybe if the next chapter would be in a different place, who knows?
So Jonah, what were some of the challenges you faced when you first arrived, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, just looking back, it's a bit fresh. I've been here less than 2 years, so yeah, I think I can really remember it clearly. Some of the things I think one would be a bit homesick, not exactly homesick, maybe in the part where I don't see my family because it's a norm in the Philippines. As long as you're not yet married, you're staying at your
Mhm.
family home. So yeah, I grew up with two sisters, and they've been always, we've always been together. And then my mom is there, and there's also my dad. So a little bit homesick, but not too much because, as you know, I went here with Rals, so we've been together in this journey, and then we stayed with May, and then we have a lot of friends also from uni who are also here in Dubai. So not too much. A bit homesick in terms of my
Yeah.
family. And then maybe the biggest one would probably be financial, the financial aspect of it, because Dubai is not cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there
That's
are
true.
countless opportunities. I can see, so many opportunities around. But of course, starting it would be a bit difficult. We went to the route of doing freelance work. I did not apply for a job, to work full time in a company. So it's there's challenges because, as you know, you have to find your own clients, and then sometimes there's no security of tenure for like I can't have this kind for like 2 years, or maybe so I don't know what will happen the next day. Right now it's getting better. I have, in a way, mastered how to
Yeah.
handle my clients, but I guess that would be like the top challenges. I'm just thankful that I did not, I was the challenge of staying in like big accommodations with so
Yeah.
many people.
True. You're
I
so lucky.
I'm yeah, I'm a bit yeah, I'm really grateful I kind of skipped that part because, as you know, I
Mhm.
stayed with a friend. And so yeah, I think overall it was a bit difficult, but not like really an impossible, and yeah, not an impossible thing that happened.
Yeah, that's very good. And having that kind of mindset, I don't think it's very difficult to move forward. And I'm to be honest, I'm really proud of you
Thank you.
because you took the fast route to entrepreneurship right away. And
Hmm.
usually people get employment first before
Yeah.
doing so, and you took the risk.
Yeah, it's a very big risk,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if, I'll be able to get clients immediately. But I think I've been heavily influenced by my friends who are in the same, mindset.
Yes,
So
that's right.
yeah, it's very good to have people with great mindset
Mhm.
around you. And
That's true.
I don't know if you know, but you are the first person in Dubai who I met.
Really?
Aside from my
No.
friends, yes, you are the first, because we met on Zoom even before I came here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you were
Yeah.
still in the
Yeah, I
Philippines
was
that
still in the
time.
Philippines that time. So yeah,
Oh,
it was the first. You were the first person I met who's from Dubai. Outside my uni circle. So
cool.
yeah, and then, yeah, and of course, eventually we met on, of course, for craft, but also for TFC.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can see how good people with good intentions really shape the way you are. So yeah, I'm very grateful that I've met you here.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jonah. I'm really, as I've said, I'm so proud of you. And ito yung masasabi ko, you really have this kind of lakas ng loob. Unlike compared to other people who are, you know, who don't have that confidence
Mm-hmm.
to go out of your comfort zone. But look at where you are now. I'm so proud of you, Jonah.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is really good. So aside from the challenges your family, aside from that, what about culture? Did you find any challenges like having a different kind of environment when you got here?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, working here is completely different as compared to the Philippines. So what
Yeah.
are the other challenges did you face?
Honestly, for me, I think I was lucky because before I left the Philippines, I was working for Ateneo de Davao and I was working for the international office. So I had some sort of exposure to different people. Yeah. If COVID did not happen, I would have had more
Mm.
travels. But yeah, I was exposed to different religions, different cultures. Also, Ateneo de Davao is very big on interreligious activities. So, because in Davao, it has, a big Muslim population. That's why when I moved here, it was not really that big of, a challenge for me in terms of culture. And I think it's also innate for Filipinos,
Mm.
pakikibagay,
Yeah.
pakikisama.
Hmm.
So far, I'm all good. I'm of course I'm learning more different cultures, different people. But so far it's not exactly a challenge for
Ah,
me. Yeah.
good. That's good to know. And I think you're at the right circle because you have
Yeah.
very good friends who's always at your back. That's why
Yeah.
you were able to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah, ang galing, 'di ba? Of course, sometimes we feel homesick, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it will be a really big hindrance for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
hello, how can you be homesick here? Let your family come
Mm,
and visit
yeah,
you, right?
exactly.
Or you can
Yeah, I also
easily
have family
fly.
here. Yeah, I
That's
have
nice.
family here.
Oh, yes.
Uh, and yeah, as you mentioned about, it's very important that you're surrounded by the right people.
Yes, that's true.
Because I hear a lot of like horror stories
Mm-hmm.
from my friends who already been here. When they stay, like, let's say, accommodation, and then there's a lot of negative energy, crab mentality,
Mm-hmm.
and sadly, it's coming from fellow
Yeah,
Filipinos.
that's true.
That's why I'm really grateful so far, and I hope it stays this way. That the people around me are very good people.
I'm sure it will, as long as you know how to set healthy
Mm-hmm.
boundaries, and
Yes.
it will remain the same. Yeah. Thank you, Jonah. So the theme for today's episode is Kabanata. Can you
Mm-hmm.
share some significant chapters in your life that have shaped who you are today?
All right. Yeah, I was really thinking about it. So full transparency, I came up with the question. I don't know, but I was thinking, what should I say about this? I think one of the most memorable things that happened to my life. So it happened when I was young. I think I was in first year high school. So how old was I that time? 13 or 14 years old. All throughout like my grade school days, I've been competing for like it's a competition, math
Oh
competition.
my
So
gosh.
all throughout
You're
I
a
was
math wizard.
yeah, I was competing. And then of course in high school they expected me to do the same, to be the same. But I think it was first year or second year, and it so happened that I don't know, for some reason I did not pass the first round. So
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, why? I was like questioning, and this is applicable to things that will happen later on. I'm so good at this thing. Why am I not chosen? And then, yeah, I just remember that time my mom was saying, don't cry over spilled milk.
Mm.
She said it already happened. So that that's something that shaped the way I am right now. So it's very rare for me to have regrets because I do everything, like all in.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work out, then kalas,
Yeah,
then bye.
exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's one significant turning point that okay, I'm good at this thing, but also it opened up another opportunity for me. So I did not get in that like math competition, and then I realized, oh, I can do newscasting. So
Mm-hmm.
I become the team captain for the
Cool.
newscasting. So it's just a circle of life. So
Yeah,
and yeah, if something not that good happens to you, and maybe something else better is intended. So that's it.
that's true.
Yeah.
Sabi nga nila, there's always a reason for everything.
Yes, exactly.
So if you fail, you're still alive.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You won't die.
You won't die. I've said that before, right?
Yeah, you said that.
I know. Don't. It's good that you're not afraid of that. You've learned from the past,
Mm-hmm.
and life would go on.
Yeah,
Whenever we fail, that makes us stronger, and we
exactly.
learn. We discover new things about ourselves, which
Yeah.
look, you've discovered a lot of things that you're good at,
Yeah.
right? Ang galing.
Yeah, and speaking of which, because I just remembered because me, May, and Rouse, we're all from Davao, right? So we're speaking Bisaya, and then there's this phrase. It's a very common phrase for us, and we say "mga matay ra gyapon tang tanan," and it literally translates to "we're all gonna die anyway." So that's why we keep on living, the best life, of course, in a
Mm-hmm.
healthy and good way,
Mm-hmm.
because we will all die in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
if
enjoy
you,
it as much
yeah,
as you can.
if you fail, okay, you will not die, but eventually you will die. So
Maybe
why
you will die
wallow?
emotionally,
Yeah,
but you will still be alive after a few
yeah,
hours.
yeah. So don't wallow on like
Yeah, true.
negative things.
Yeah. Don't dwell on the problems
Exactly.
because it will just pass,
Yeah.
as they say. It
Yeah,
comes and goes. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So, Jonah, can you tell us about your work in marketing and events on Scale and Socials?
Yeah. So as you know, yeah, I May and I we opened up this company called Scale on Socials. We have a lot of clients, a variety of clients. So from F&B, we have also personal brands, of course, and we just ventured into doing podcast, producing podcast also. So the very first client I have is a TFC podcast.
Yay! Thank
Yeah,
you.
and now I'm doing for Transcend Health Talk, so it's on medicine. But personally, I also have a client working. It's on the medical field. It's a dermatology conference. So yeah, we have a varied varied activity,
Mhm.
so we don't get bored. Yeah, we have quite a lot on our plate right now, but yeah, I think delegation is key, really. So yeah, that's it so far, and I'm also personally trying to build my personal brand because
Yes, yes.
I've been pushing so many clients, oh, you have to do your personal brand, and then right now I don't have mine. So
We've started
yeah,
already.
yeah, with this
This is a
podcast,
start.
with this episode, this is
Yeah.
a start.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I just heard from, I think, Rals or May
Mm-hmm.
mentioned before that you guys are doing the same thing when you were in school, but now it's different because you're getting paid.
Yes. It's
That's so
basically
fun, right?
basically the same thing. So we went to Ateneo de Davao, and then we were taking mass communication. Yeah, and that field basically we were thinking, oh, maybe I will be a newscaster.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will be a newscaster. But that when we went through the curriculum, we were doing all sorts of things. So we were writing script for radio, writing script for TV, and then we were also doing variety shows where we perform.
What?
ASAP,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's
yes.
like that. So yeah, I have a history of doing performing on stage
Nice.
also, and
Yeah.
then we also do music videos. So we shoot the music video, and then sometimes if it's my project, someone will act, and then if it's another person's project, then I will act. So we're doing all sorts of things, and I'm very grateful for the things we learn in the university. Um, and aside from that, we did a lot of extracurricular activities. So yeah, May and I go way back.
And you guys are so talented.
Thank you.
The three of you.
Thank you. Thank
Ang
you.
galing. So, looking back at your journey so far, Jonah, what
Mhm.
reflections do you have on the different chapters you've experienced?
Well, let me think. So this, unlike the other guests, and you know, uh, we've had here for the podcast, most of you have been here like so long, like more than 10 years,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. For me, it's just starting. Maybe the reflection I have so far is that just live your life and like learn from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also like just very recently really realized how important being alone is.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to think if you're alone, you're lonely. But now it doesn't necessarily mean that if you're alone, you're lonely.
True. That's true.
I realized that if you're alone, you can improve yourself
Mm,
more. You can hear yourself think better. And yeah, being alone makes you a better person.
true.
And later on, it will just radiate with a circle of friends. So yeah, I think it's fine to be alone.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And it's healthy
Mm-hmm.
even with married people. For example, me and my husband, we
Mm-hmm.
we have our alone times as well.
Yeah.
So that's completely normal. And that's true what you're saying because when you're alone and you have this quiet time,
Mm,
that's the that's the that's a moment where you can learn a lot about yourself. It's like
exactly.
self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And that is maturity. Are we adulting now?
Yeah,
I,
hopefully.
I'm way older than you, but you think the same.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, yes you are. Yes you are. So what advice do you have for Filipinas starting a new chapter in a foreign country like the UAE, and how do you stay motivated and inspired in your career?
I think one advice would really be, so this is something I would be advising my sister also, because
Oh, she's
she's
still there.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
To anyone who's not just Filipinas, to anyone coming to a new country, very first thing would be really respect the culture, because you're the foreigner now,
That's true.
in this place. And also, um biggest thing would be surround yourself with good people. Be selective
Yeah,
with
I
people,
agree.
that you go with, because yeah, sometimes you have like friends, your colleagues become your friends, but sometimes they're not good influences. So you don't have to stick around. Just, that's it.
Yeah, that's very true, Jonah. And thank you for sharing your story. So I hope you guys learned a lot from Jonah's Kabanata. It's just one chapter of her life, but
Yeah,
I'm sure we're looking forward to more stories coming up for you.
definitely.
Yeah, and you're only 2 years here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to hear more in the future.
Yeah.
So what's our key takeaways? So one thing I've learned from you is that you have to have the right mindset
Mm-hmm.
when you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, like leaving the Philippines, for
Yeah.
example. You have to surround yourself with people who would inspire you and encourage you, not people who would pull you down, because it's really difficult to live in an environment that's completely new and then people around you are not helping at all.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's good. That's good. That's very good. And what's good is you have faith in yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you only have yourself.
That's true.
No matter how many friends you have, no matter how much your family loves you,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you only have yourself. Yeah.
That's very true. So thank you, Jonah, for sharing your journey with
Yes,
us.
you're
Your
welcome.
story reminds us of the importance of embracing each chapter of our lives, no matter how challenging it may
Mm-hmm.
be. So, before you wrap up, can you tell us, our listeners, our
Mm-hmm.
audience, where we can learn about Scale on socials?
Yeah, for if you're interested to get to know, to help you scale in terms of your social media, or if you're interested to create like your own podcast but you don't know where to start, yeah, get in touch with us. We have Instagram is at the social base. Yeah, so you can send us a message there. And then we'll be happy to, be glad to help you with that. And okay, I think that's it for me.
Thank you, Jonah. And
Yeah.
before we end, I'd like to tell everyone first that I'm very grateful for you, Jonah,
Mm.
because you encouraged me to do this. Without you, I wouldn't I wouldn't say yes to this. Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
I remember you were so nervous.
I'm
I'm
always
nervous
nervous.
now.
I'm still nervous until now. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you learned a lot. Don't forget to subscribe on our podcast. We have YouTube and Spotify, and please follow Thriving Filipino Circle on our social media channels for the latest updates, of course. We love to hear your thoughts and any questions you have for our future episodes. And don't forget, keep thriving, Filipina. Thank you.
Yay. Natapos